Welcome to the Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy. And this is where characters gather. So today I am going to do my spin on 4 books, first chapter. I'm going to do 2 books, 2 genres, 2 chapters, and see if any of them catch my eye. It is a stormy and gloomy day here, but that's okay. I've got a mocha. Dogs are all settled in. If it suddenly starts to pour, you will hear the dogs bark. Felicity is terrified of thunder. And by terrified, I mean her entire body quakes for an hour plus after it stops. So she's in her thunder vest. It helps somewhat, but it does not alleviate completely her abject terror of thunder. So we will see. So what genres am I going to read today? I am going to read 2 from popular contemporary fiction. Both of these books were previously read by my book group prior to me joining. They had mixed reviews. They were loaned to me by my next door neighbor, Kim, who is also in book group. And the other 2 books and the other genre is science fiction. One I have had is on my 2023 reading challenge to read this year. And the other book is by an incredibly popular science fiction author. So we will see. So first up, I will do contemporary fiction. And the first book in the contemporary fiction category will be Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. So we will see. I'll read you the back. For years, rumors of the Marsh Girl have haunted Barkley Cove, a quiet town on the North Carolina coast. So in late 1969, when handsome Chase Andrews is found dead, the locals immediately suspect Kaya Clark, the so-called Marsh Girl. But Kaya is not what they say. Sensitive and intelligent, she has survived for years alone in the marsh that she calls home, finding friends in the gulls and lessons in the sand. Then the time comes when she earns to be touched and loved. When 2 young men from town become intrigued by her wild beauty, Kaya opens herself to a new life, until the unthinkable happens. To be honest, if I picked this up in the books in the bookstore, when you're perusing books, I would have set this back. It doesn't immediately float my boat, so we'll see. I do like that there's a map. So the opening paragraph of the prologue is beautiful. I will read it to you. Marsh is not swamp. Marsh is a space of light, where grass grows in water and water flows into sky. Slow-moving creeks wander, carrying the orb of the sun with them to the sea, and long-legged birds lift with unexpected grace, as though not built to fly against the roar of 1,000 snow geese. Opening paragraph is intriguing, so we'll see. Okay. Um, it's a pass for me. I'm not interested. It's it probably gets better as the book goes on, but it didn't hook me in 2 chapters, and my TBR is, you know, stratospherically tall, so I think I'm going to pass on this one. Next book. Next up, we have The Guilt Trip by Sandy Jones. I will read the back. Rachel and Jack, Paige and Noah, and Will. 5 friends who've known one another for years. Then along comes Allie, Will's new fiancée. 3 couples travel to Portugal for Allie and Will's destination wedding. The weekend away at the gorgeous cliff-top villa is a chance to relax and get to know Allie a little better. She seems perfectly nice, and Will seems happy after years of bad choices. But when Rachel discovers a shocking secret about Allie, everything changes. As the wedding weekend unfolds, the secrets each of them holds begin to spill, and friendships and marriage threaten to unravel. Okay, let's see. Um, it's okay. It's not. Again, it's one of those I would have picked up at the bookstore. I would have read the back. I would have been slightly intrigued, but not enough to actually take it to checkout. Um, it has the feeling of a Real Housewives episode with all the drama and the drinking and the pettiness and the shallowness, and yeah, no, not for me. Okay, continuing on this journey, we are now on to the science fiction choices. Next up is Upgrade by Blake Crouch. I know that Blake Crouch is quickly becoming a sci-fi must-buy author for many booktubers. Mike over at Mike's Book Reviews loves him in particular. So I'm hopeful. Let's see. I will read you the inside cover. At first, Logan Ramsey isn't sure if anything's different. He just feels a little sharper, better able to concentrate, better at multitasking, reading a bit faster, memorizing better, needing less sleep. But before long, he can't deny it. Something's happening to his brain, to his body. He's starting to see the world and those around him, even those he loves most, in whole new ways. The truth is, Logan's genome has been hacked, and there's a reason he's been targeted for this upgrade. A reason that goes back decades to the darkest part of his past and horrific family legacy. Worse still, what's happening to him is just the first step in a much larger plan one that will inflict the same changes on humanity at large, at a terrifying cost. Logan's the one person in the world capable of stopping what's been set in motion. But to have a chance at winning this war, he will have to become something other than himself. Maybe even something other than human. And even as he's fighting, he can't help wondering, what if humanity's only hope for the future really does lie in engineering our own evolution? I am definitely intrigued. It definitely has possibilities. So let's read it and find out. Cool blue, is it tasty? Could you get off the sofa, please? Okay, go over there and eat it. Okay, so 2 chapters. This has definite possibilities. It's action packed, it moves quickly. In the first 2 chapters, you join Logan, who's our protagonist, as he arrests a suspect in the Denver International Airport, and they proceed to execute a raid on an abandoned building in Denver as a result of the arrest, and something goes catastrophically wrong, and Logan ends up in the hospital. So it appears this is about genetic code manipulation, and it is not short on the action. In the first 2 chapters, it's pretty light on the science. There is some what I would call heavier genetic science in the second chapter, but it wasn't unapproachable in the way it was written, which is always a good thing. So this one I would actually take with me and check it out if I was at the bookstore. I happen to get this one from the library, even better, but this has possibilities. On to the next book, our last book. Our last book is, I own this one, Empire of Silence by Christopher Ruocchio. This is the first in the Sun Eater series. I believe there are now 5 books released. This is not a reflection on Christopher. This is a very thick mass market paperback. It is well over 700 pages. I do not like paperbacks, mass market paperbacks in particular, that are over 350 pages to read. They become cumbersome. The spine breaks down. The book doesn't hold up well. And yet, these are not available in trade paperback. And they do a very small run for hardbacks for Christopher's books for some reason. And to buy them used, they are outrageously expensive. I do not understand the publisher's decision on this. I really wish they would rethink it. I just, it's irritating. Be that as it may. I'll read you the back. It was not his war. The galaxy remembers him as a hero. The man who burned every last alien Silsin from the sky. They remember him as a monster. The devil who destroyed a sun, casually annihilating 4 billion human lives, even the Emperor himself, against imperial orders. But Hadrian was not a hero. He was not a monster. He was not even a soldier. On the wrong planet at the right time, for the best reasons, Hadrian Marlowe starts down a path that can only end in fire. He flees his father and a future as a torturer, only to be left stranded on a strange backwater world. Forced to fight as a gladiator and navigate the intrigues of a foreign planetary court, Hadrian must fight a war he did not start, for an empire he does not love, against an enemy he will never understand. I know this is epic sci-fi. I also know this is grim sci-fi. So let's see if I like it. I do like that the opening pages have truly foreign script that's thereby translated down below. It says, being the account of the Sun Eater, Hadrian Marlowe, of the war between mankind and the Silsin. Translated into classical English by Tor Palos of Nov Belgar on Kolkes. So, Hadrian's life story. It has a beautiful opening paragraph. Light. The light of that murdered sun still burns me. I see it through my eyelids, blazing out of history from that bloody day, hinting at fires indescribable. It is like something holy, as if it were the light of God's own heaven that burned the world and billions of lives with it. I carry that light always, seared into the back of my mind. I make no excuses, no denials, no apologies for what I have done. I know what I am. if I was in the mood for this, I would be picking this up right now. I like that chapters in this book appear to be short, so you can pick it up, read a couple chapters, put it down, go do something else, pick it up, read a couple chapters, go do something else. That's always a plus for me when the story is on the darker side, and this is going to be on the darker side. After all, he blows up a sun and kills billions of people. First two chapters are his birth, childhood, growing up, training. It reminds me very much of classical Roman, Greek training of children from a very young age to inherit and be soldiers and fighters and warriors and take over for their fathers. At the same time, it's very much sci-fi. His birth is unconventional by our standards. It's very clinical. He was born in a vat, not from his mother's womb. This has possibilities. I'm intrigued. I'm glad this is on my list. I will probably get to this later on this year. But I think first up that I'm going to read is going to be Upgrade by Blake Crouch. This is something I'm in the mood for. It sounds intriguing. It was fast-paced. And yeah, this is what I'm going to read. I'm not too surprised I didn't end up going with the popular fiction. They're not generally my thing. I think I've borne that out so far this year. But I appreciate Kim loaning me those books to even attempt to try. So this has been a lot of fun. This has helped me decide that what I want to read and what I will read. So I will leave a review for Upgrade after I have finished it. I thank you for joining me here at the Protagonist Pub. I hope I have whetted your appetite for at least one of these 4 books, even if it wasn't to my personal taste. Please comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.